Hello, everybody, and welcome to Get Folked. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Get Folked, a casual listening podcast anchored in folk music, but with enough slack in the line to take us into our worlds of Berlin, Limerick, and beyond.
That was very smooth.
Andrew.
Shit. Damn it, I fucked it up. I slid in there too soon. Shit. I'm at fault there. Damn it.
Sorry, you were too excited by your artwork.
Yeah, would you believe I made that at work today?
So if you are just listening and not watching on YouTube, which you can, Ed is showing some of the fruits of his labors on a full day in a hangar.
12 hours.
12 hours work in a hangar. And he's come out with the nativity scene with...
well done.
With
what
some
we got here,
sticks
Andy?
and
Well, that's
got three wise men. Got three wise men. We got a horse, probably a donkey, I suppose. Mary and Joseph is there. I think baby Jesus is on the horse.
Who's that up in the rafters?
Is it Angel Gabriel? I don't know. Gabriel? Gabe?
Incorrect. Angel of Death. I decided to go a different direction with my nativity scene. Parallel universe. They all die. Don't be fooled by the friendly face of that angel.
Anything for your future ideas that I think you've already beaten last week's one. So man, you're already on a roll there. So,
I'm very proud of this one actually because
it is.
It's an orange A4 sheet. I don't think anybody saw that one coming.
I tell you what, I think when people are on airplanes, I think they don't realize the work that the shift that's been going on in the background.
Yeah. There's 4 lollipop sticks that makes the shape of the what did they get to sleep in? It was a barn or something or a shed.
Yes, I believe there was only rooms in the stable.
In the stable, that was it. I had to eat 4 chalk ices to get those sticks and make the shape of. It looks like a house really, but it's a stable. And as you correctly say, Andy, there is a donkey there, laden with gifts.
It's weighed down.
It's a beast of burden, after all. So
seems like Mary and Joseph got the gifts and are ready to move out of the stable straight away. I think it's like they got what they came for, and that's like
they're legging it.
They're just loading up straight away. Oh, thanks, lads. Lads.
Bye. Yeah, that looks very good.
To get back, if you're new to Get Folked, or indeed you are a veteran, don't forget to like us, and subscribe to us on all the usual channels. Ed,
that's good.
What those channels are.
Andy was giving me some very meaningful looks there in saying that this is my job. I should be saying this.
Just in case.
We are on Substack. That's our home. You can follow us there, catch the episodes there, like us there, comment there if you want. Mm-hmm. We're on Instagram, even though I dropped the ball a little bit this week. I wasn't really on it this week in terms of like posting stuff. And we're on Facebook. You can befriend us there. Get in on the ground, get on the foundation of it's a new thing.
YouTube. Facebook is up and running, is it?
Yeah, Facebook's up. It's bad that you don't know that, by the way. You shouldn't have told the listeners that you didn't know. Facebook page.
But if they go back through the archives, they'll understand that I lost my password and also lost the password for the email address that the password gets sent to. So, and I don't have the heart to get back into it for my own. But I'll get in there on the Get Folked one. I was on the Instagram one this week. This week.
I think you're like the only person with whom hacking would be a victimless crime. Because you wouldn't realize that you've been hacked.
Exactly. There are some compromising pictures up there. So I do hope, not that compromising, I guess. If it were very compromising, I guess then it would be a major story amongst the podcasting network. but they're not. So,
No,
but you can find us there, and I will be there myself. I logged into Instagram. Ed, full disclosure, I think I've given this full disclosure, but Ed has been leading the social media charge. He's been leading our team of
Not-
social media.
Yeah, I don't think he uses the word
leprechauns.
charge. Charge is probably misleading. Charge, what would be more of a forced march through the wilderness to nowhere in particular. That's what I'm leading on Instagram and stuff like that.
But that's
So
the best
Instagram,
place
anyway.
to go.
Anyway, Substack, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You've no excuse, lads.
Okay,
You've no
there
excuse.
go.
You can catch
So,
us everywhere.
find
Like
us.
us.
Huge
subscribe,
huge
share.
part of this podcast as well is reflecting on the week before. And you know what I'm going to do, Ed? I'm going to dive straight in. We're going housekeeping.
Boom.
Let's have to look back. Oh yeah, I'll turn that up as well. Oh God, not turn it up too loud. Shit. There we go. I'll turn that up. So for those of you that are new, sorry if that blew the ears off you, or indeed, I'm sure the post-production will fix it. But housekeeping is our weekly look back at the week before and the things we didn't know that we try to educate you on. And you can tell that I've done some housekeeping because I've never been so excited to do some housekeeping.
You're really driving this one this week. That's really good. I like it. Thank you.
So I don't know if you have any, but I'm going to dive into what I had written down.
Yeah.
One wandering, as we say, a casual listening podcast brings us into the casual world of food sometimes. And one of the conversations we had was around the world of tempeh. Didn't do enough to actually look up the actual pronunciation of the word, but I was discussing how I had cooked a curry using tempeh. And we were kind of exploring the differences between tempeh and tofu, and they're pretty much the same thing, but just with different production processes. With tempeh, production involves fermenting soybeans with a specific type of mold called Rhizopus oligosaporus. As you know, this binds the soybeans together into a firm-like texture. Tofu production, however, begins with making milk from soybeans. Coagulants are added to curdle the milk, which forms tofu curds, and these are then pressed and shaped into blocks.
It's somehow managed to sound more disgusting than slaughtering a chicken and cutting up its flesh so that we could eat it. You've introduced mold.
No, yeah.
Like on purpose.
Yeah. And I read somewhere recently as well that because, I don't know, something about tempeh that you're supposed to slice it nice and thin, and I didn't do that. I have
Why
giant,
are you supposed to slice it thin?
because it does have kind of a, like, so the curry I made, Vietnamese curry, I believe. Don't know why it makes what makes it Vietnamese, but it was titled as Vietnamese curry.
Yeah, I think you Andy, you are the one that makes it Vietnamese. Somehow.
Yeah, well, I could wonder. So it's it was titled Vietnamese curry, but because the tempeh was too thick, and it's kind of got an earthy taste to it.
I see where you're going.
So you need to thin that out so it can can soak up the juices, which it was not, and my kids weren't like
they're like, Dad, this is a fucking Cambodian curry, man. What the fuck are you doing?
Idiot.
Jesus Christ.
Actually, I gave
Vietnamese.
I gave my son a beetroot soup yesterday, which I thought was pretty nice, and but he was kind of excited. I think because we were going to do something fun after dinner, so he was kind of
like
buzzing.
Maths.
He was, no, something else. But he was he as soon as he sat down to have the beetroot curry or beetroot curry, beetroot soup. He just first thing he said was, "Dad, this is the best soup. This is the best soup." And he hadn't barely tasted it yet, and it's like he got like a spoon or half a spoon in, and he was just like, "I don't like it." I was like, so I called him on. I was like, "You said it was nice. You said it was really nice."
Daddy's not letting this go, son. Yeah. And yes, all love is in fact conditional. I made a reference to last week's podcast just for anyone that wasn't listening there with my math comment, and I feel like feel like, I feel like, I think it's a fact. I don't say this for any other reason other than that I think it's true. That I think you're a better parent than me, and that you like, you see these things that like, you see opportunities to squeeze math in and make it fun. Oh, I'm gonna try some beetroot soup with my kids today. Like, that shit would never occur to me. I'm like, I am not going to deal with the fallout of trying to get my kids to eat beetroot soup. It would just, would never, ever, ever occur to me to even attempt that. It's like, what's that? More waffles? Yep, coming right up.
In fairness to him, he did horse through it in the end because, the rainbow, the crock of gold at the end of the rainbow required beetroot soup to be at least got halfway through, if not close to the edge.
You were having a crack at long division, were you?
Yeah.
You promised him a crack at long division or some shit like that. Something really fun.
I think we were watching. Actually, what we were watching was I think we've talked about this briefly before. Was Barack Obama's this oceans documentary.
I didn't know Barack Obama had an oceans. Is there anything that man can't do? Huh?
Yeah. He's there narrating this, so he's got the kind of he's got a narration voice as well.
He does. He's got a really good narration voice. Yeah.
So we were on the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, quite interesting. Quite nice.
There's a good video of him, clip of him, like flirting with a voter when it was like the first time he was going for it, and it wasn't overt flirting, but it was like he was if it was like a relationship thing, he was laying a foundation. He was playing.
Long game.
Yeah. Nice. He's smooth. You can tell he's smooth. And there's there was so many clips of him looking cool during his election, like of him like bouncing or playing basketball. And he
bouncing him.
The reason I said bouncing was because they compared him to because he was up against Bush, and like Bush was getting a photo op at a basketball court, and they tried to bounce the ball, and the ball must have been flat. It didn't come back up, so it just just came halfway up to his hand, and he unsuccessfully bounced the ball. And then they cut to Barack Obama playing an actual basketball game, and someone giving him the ball, passing him the ball. And like, it's an actual competitive game, and he just like goes around this guy effortlessly and up around the hoop and just like slam dunks it or some shit like that,
Nice.
And then he won the election pretty much because of that clip. I think
it's clearly we should have had Biden on the court more, or indeed, sorry, it wasn't Biden in the end. Maybe that was it. They should have just got a pair of shorts on that man and just here you go. I
think Biden
worked for Barack.
All you gotta do is slam. All you gotta do is score this 3-pointer, and you're in. You're back in the White House. Okay.
But anyway, so that was my tempeh, and I think then we talked a bit about Cadbury's, and I know you actually called the episode one.
Can I go back there a second to tempeh, because I looked in and I got I came across, where is it now? 1 second there. My notes are all mixed up here. Okay, I didn't actually write it down, that's why I can't find it. But the tempeh, I looked at the tempeh as well, and all my notes are just so all over the place, and also not there. I looked up tempeh, and one of the first explanations I got of what tempeh is, and you see this sort of stuff all the time when you're comparing something to something else. It's like it's completely useless. It's like tempeh is like, I was like, what's the difference in tempeh and what's the other one?
Tofu.
And it said tempeh is like tofu if it went to the gym.
It is supposed to be more nutritious.
What does that mean? If it went to the gym. It tells you nothing. It's just such a fucking useless. Why did you type those words?
I kind of get what that person is saying, though, when you look at the two things side by side. Anyways, it doesn't matter. But yeah, temp.
So if you had a review, if there was a review of that description and it said, "Did you find this helpful?" You would have been like, "Yep."
Yeah, no, I would not, because I have yet to. No matter whether I find it helpful or not, I'm like, I just pillage. I don't support.
I'm in the fucking gym. I'm in the gym all the time, and I never see tempeh there. I'm always
Come
pumping
here.
iron.
We talked about Cadbury's, right?
Oh, you're fucking
this-
moving on
and
straight
this.
away. You're
I'm driving
fucking
you on.
geez, that's good. That's good. Nice. Little set manager there. A little that's good.
Cadbury's,
Let's go.
right? I wanted to find
come on with ya.
this euro. I wanted to find this euro thing.
Couldn't find it either.
Couldn't find it. Yeah, I even sat down and went through like 20 minutes of Cadbury's ads going back because it was taken from like, it was an old Cadbury's ad. I don't know if you found that out, but it was just
no,
a voiced over from the 1950s or something like that, because it was in black and white.
That's right. So the old footage was a Cadbury's ad as well.
Yeah.
Ah, I didn't know that.
I believe so. That's as far as I could do. So for those that are wondering what we're talking about, actually, yeah. So there was we spoke about a Cadbury's ad that was in Ireland back when the euro came out, and it was just a point of conversation. It was an ad that said something about a euro. Dad, what's a euro? And we had a chat about that. But anyway, couldn't find that ad, which bothered me. So I watched. I speed watched 20 minutes of Cadbury's ads from 1950s. Couldn't find anything, but did find some. God, Cadbury's were very misogynistic back in the day, and probably continue to be. Wouldn't fly. When, like, one of their taglines for roses was, and we seem to be a lot of Australian Cadbury's ads. So I'm going to attempt my Australian accent here, but like a tagline is like,
here we go.
when you've got roses. Oh God, what have I done now? God, damn it, you see, you said Cockney there, and you fucking knocked me out. G'day, man. Okay, when you got roses. No, I'm gonna give up on that already.
Please stay going. Please stay going.
When you've got roses, you've got yourself a man. And that's what it. That's the tagline that they had. When you get roses, you've got yourself a man. So the idea being men that gave roses, like, you know, they give roses are real men.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
You know, so one of them was like, one of the lines from one of the ads was like, you know, it cuts. There's a scene of two guys in a car, and one of the guys is a box of roses. This is all in black and white, and they're all talking Australian. And he's like, "You've been seeing that Judy Ponsgrave again, haven't you?" Oh shit! I'm like, okay. I'm gonna keep going. The one with the long legs. And he's like, "Yeah, I have, yeah." He's like, "What are you doing with their roses? Do they like roses?" And he says, "They love them." And then it just cuts again. When you get roses, you've got yourself a man. Oh, it's mad. Mad. It's very funny.
That's I always link my sense of masculinity to the chocolates that I buy, and just in case there's a change in like shit, and there's a changing in what that means, I buy them all. I buy everything. I buy roses, Quality Street. I buy Heroes. I buy them all, so that you know I'm a man, no matter what. After Eights, big box of After Eights there. Nobody's going to eat it. But
the only other one that were kind of, but again, it wasn't screaming the man thing. Or you got yourself a man was Milk Tray, and that was was it Milk Tray or maybe it was roses again for all the different. I think it was Milk Tray, but it was like there's so many different flavors for all the different women there are. Hazelnut whirl for the crisp, elegant, sophisticated, and then for the fresh and young, there's strawberry cream or mandarin. Just like, what? And then it just...
there's something really creepy about that. For the fresh and young. That sounds so yucky.
So yeah, Cadbury's. Yeah, they have.
Sounds like the ad is trying to entice like underage people.
Yeah, it's weird. They're all. But I guess the 1950s, 60s were alien times to us now. I guess alien times.
Yeah.
But anyways, you've got yourself a man. You got yourself a man. You got yourself.
There has been some standout chocolate ones because it wasn't and all because the lady loved Cadbury's Milk Tray. Wasn't that one? Yeah, and it was always he was kind of an espionage kind of a guy or a secret agent guy
or something. Yeah.
I don't use that for a ninja.
Well, he was a stealthy. He wasn't okay. He was just beating the shit out of her. And all because the lady in the back.
Throwing stars. All because the lady loved Cadbury's Milk Tray. Hiya!
So, anyways, that was my research on Cadbury's. You anything to add to the Cadbury's research?
Cadbury's milk tray. Like the more I think about that ad, the weirder it is as well because uh, like this guy would do all of this sneaky stuff, and the point of it would be to leave a box of Cadbury's milk tray on a lady's bed, and she'd come in and see. She'd come in and see the box of Cadbury's milk tray and be delighted, which is definitely not what would happen. I mean,
It's weird actually. Now that you say that, because I haven't watched it all yet, but we started watching Mulholland Drive last night. From the guy that died recently of Twin Peaks,
David Lynch.
David Lynch, and there is a. Have you seen Mulholland Drive?
I no, I haven't. No.
No, and I felt like I had, but I couldn't remember it. But it's just very David Lynchy. We were watching David Lynch because sadly, was he passed away himself? David
Yeah,
Lynch,
he
yeah,
passed
David
away,
Lynch
yeah.
passed away, the famous writer of Twin Peaks, and Mulholland Drive. But there is the same kind of scene where like there's. I don't think I'm ruining much, but like this girl just kind of breaks into a house and goes to sleep on the bed, and then but because it's David Lynch, there's just really weird interactions between the characters, and the girl that finds her suddenly just kind of accepts that she's in the bed and starts caring for her and is worried about her. It's like doesn't question why she's in the bed or and like that. It's more like, are you okay? Can I help you? So maybe it's not that weird, Ed. Maybe it's completely fine. You can break into as many houses you want and leave roses, or indeed go for a nap.
Didn't, but wasn't. No, I seem to remember about that movie that there was some sort of sexual attraction between them. No,
There seems to be something growing, a kind of Thelma and Louise kind of thing, but I don't know. I'm going to watch the rest of it tomorrow. I couldn't stay up last night, and obviously not going to get to watch it
I think
tonight.
I think it's a lot more spoken than the unspoken between Thelma and Louise.
Okay. And these two are more. Well, David Lynch is more about staring and kind of unusual, kind of silent moments between
My
characters.
point is, I think, I think is like if you were to wake up, if you were to walk in and find somebody that you find attractive in your bed, like panic isn't the first thing that would come in your head. You know what I mean? Whereas like if you come and find somebody who's left a mysterious gift on your bed, you do panic. That's weird. That is weird. Somehow
Yeah.
it's more weird. Am I right there? No,
There's only one way. We've got to test this out. Housekeeping for next weekend is each of us have to break into someone else's house and
a box of chocolates.
one of us
You leave
takes
a
the
box of
chocolates.
chocolates, and I'll sleep in their bed. I'll be like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I'll just get confused. I'll eat their porridge, I'll break a chair, and then I'll just sleep in their bed.
And why you put on a dress and the golden locks as well. That really wasn't
I
necessary.
was trying to up the sexual attraction. That's just gotta try and gotta play
The
every
person
hand I
actually
can.
ends up getting completely attracted to you as well, and you end up becoming a prisoner, and then just
It's like it turns into what's that? Was it Stephen King? That one where he's kept captive. I've ruined it. Doesn't matter.
I'm
But
sure
yeah,
it was.
oh, that's gonna fucking annoy me now.
We'll come back to you. We'll come back to you.
Kathy
My only
Bates.
my final piece of housekeeping, Kathy Bates. No, my final piece of housekeeping was the moon,
Oh, yeah,
and
very good.
and a few people kind of wrote to us about this and just kind of leaned into the kind of my stupid attempts, like that Germany is the moon, which seems to be kind of a little bit of it was a bit of an underestimate of how big the moon is, because the moon is slightly more than 1/4 the size of the Earth. The reason we were getting to this question, again, if you weren't listening last week, was I was talking about my son asking me this question of like, how big is the moon? And the moon is slightly more than 1/4 the size of the Earth. For me, that didn't cut it when I read that. Like going into like its diameter is it's about 2,200 miles, or 3,500 kilometers. So the way I could kind of make it a bit easier for him to understand was, how long do you think you'd take at an average speed, if you were walking at an average speed, to walk around the Earth? Ed, that is a question. How long do you think if you just
Sorry,
walk the
I'd
circumference of?
muted myself.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, the Earth or the Moon?
Well, we'll start with the Earth, and then we can work. Well, I guess you can kind of calculate it from that. Then
Well, was it Phineas Fogg made it around in 80 days, but he used
80
all
days.
sorts of. You're talking about
Yeah.
walking.
Walking. Yeah.
Andy, that would fucking take me a lifetime. I don't know, man. That would take me like years and years and years. That would take me, I think, wait a second now. That would take me 50 years to do that.
No, actually, no. Well, at an average, well, okay, it could take you more if you walked non-stop, without stopping, without sleeping, and walked at an average of like 4.8 kilometers per hour is what the stat, or 3 miles per hour. It would take you just shy of a full year, but you'd have to be non-stop walking. So I guess you kind of got to at least double that if you're going to take some rest in and some eating breaks. So you're talking, so yeah. So then the moon is about quarter that then. So you'd get around the moon in roughly 90 days with non-stop walking. So I think that's a little bit easier for comprehension to comprehend the size of the moon versus the Earth. And maybe it's not. But I felt it was. At least it helped narrow it down a little bit rather than just giving sizes.
I actually don't think that has helped me. I'm sorry. I think I'm more. I don't know why. That seems wrong, but it's probably right. You know. That's gonna be my argument for when that person finds me in their bed as well. So I'm just trying out that line with the wig. I know it seems wrong, but it's probably right.
This makes sense if you think about it. Have you seen Mulholland Drive?
By the way, if you're hungry, I know where you can get a box of chocolates. There's a guy. He's probably leaving them somewhere right now.
Because your face is covered in chocolate.
I know where you can get one chocolate.
The stupid strawberry one for the fresh and young.
I don't want that one. That's icky.
You're fresh and young. Here. Box of roses.
Oh, that phrase really.
Yeah.
That's icky.
So that was. I think that was all I had. I had scribbled down. Anything
Well done.
else? Or is
Yorkie, it's not for girls. They tried that for a while, didn't they?
They did ad campaign for the Yorkie chocolate bar. And something about a diva as well. It wasn't like there was a kind
Snickers,
of
I think.
Yeah, it was quite actually. Yeah, that was quite recent to kind of move into. Again, I don't think it happened nowadays. So now you're only going back like 5-10 years for that Yorkie ad.
That's all. That's all. Yeah. My housekeeping. Yeah. So the Dead Zone. I have to correct myself. I said that the main character.
Just to give context, we were talking about a Stephen King book called The Dead Zone, right?
That's correct. We're not talking about my elaborate joke about the alternative story for The Dead Zone. So we're not talking about that. We're talking about the actual Stephen King book and the plot of the actual Stephen King book, and not my wistful musings that I come up with when I should be doing something else.
What was the what was it? Go on. And what was your?
So he wasn't. I thought in my head he was struck by lightning. He wasn't. He was in a car crash, and so he got brain damage from being hit in the head during the car crash, and that's where he got these special powers.
No.
I think I got mixed up because I think I have like a weird, like fantasy of getting like struck by lightning, so that it would somehow give me powers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Stephen King used that car crash thing a lot, didn't he?
Well, he was struck. He was hit by a car himself. He nearly died.
Yeah.
I think that's why he's kind of
that whole Kingdom Hospital was that whole thing as well. Got hit by it. Was supposed to be his kind of thing. He did a series. You ever watch that Kingdom Hospital?
No.
I quite liked it. It was actually very Stephen King, David Lynch. But yeah, he was in a car crash, but he woke up from his coma, but only in his mind. And then he started seeing, and he could somehow traverse these kind of parallel dimensions within this Kingdom Hospital because it was built on an Indian burial ground or something like that. It's just started getting very Stephen King then in the end. But
Oh,
yeah, it all starts with the car crash that he had, and yeah,
so anyway, there you go.
that's it.
Yeah. And what else have I got? Oh yeah, I was searching for why is there 60 minutes in an hour. Oh yeah, actually, so yeah, the minutes and hours thing. I said last week that I thought it was based on an incorrect calculation of how fast we go around the sun and stuff like that. But actually, what I said was incorrect. It's not. They were quite accurate actually in their I think it was the Babylonians, and they were quite accurate in their calculations actually, and that's why we have the 60 minutes. And I think it seems to be that 60 minutes in an hour is very convenient for dividing time. I think that's why they ended up with it, and that's why we end up using it as well. Instead of using like purely decimal stuff, because you can, I think you can divide 12 by more things than you can divide 10. Let's say. I think that's why. Sorry, I meant to mute myself before I coughed at that time, but I missed the mute button. So you all got that nice cough in your ears.
You nailed it.
Yeah. Moving on swiftly, I was searching for like stuff about why is there 60 minutes in an hour to give you that bit of information. But the predictive search, which was Google, threw up some interesting suggestions when I got to why is there, and like, because I was slow writing, so I was like, why is there? And before I got to write the 60 minutes in an hour, and I swear I have never searched for any of these things before. Sorry, oh yeah, actually shit, I fucking, I'm messing this up. I should have had this ready beforehand. But I came up with some like really, 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 really specific suggestions for how I should end that search question. And I hope it's not too far back. Oh yeah, there it is. So why is there blood in my poop?
Oh,
Jesus. That was the first one. Why is there blood when I wipe? Why is there blood in my snot? Why
I'm sorry, man, but this Google is picking up on things. It's picking up on conversation. It's picking up on what's going on in your hands.
Well, I am not involved in any of those conversations. I can guarantee you that. So I don't know what's going on. Oh, so anyway, so then it changes tack though. Then, so after the first three of blood in something, it goes, why is there a Guinness shortage?
Oh, that's a
complete change of pace. Then it's, why is there a shortage of medicines in Ireland? Why is there fireworks tonight? And then back to the old reliables. Why is there blood in my urine? Why is there blood in my phlegm? Why is there a housing crisis in Ireland? And then a very basic one. Why is there water in my fridge?
That's actually a problem I was dealing with very recently before we got a new fridge. So I can actually relate to that one.
So that's your fault, that one.
Yeah, that was my...
Just got to find the person responsible for all the other ones. And I swear, I like that. I have never searched for any of those things, and all my bodily functions are fine. But Google's like, this guy is going to want to know this information, for whatever reason.
The algorithm never lies, Ed. The algorithm never lies.
I mean, it might be. I do think it could be mistaken on this one. That's too many blood queries.
No, I know. You're in full health. Look at you, for goodness.
I'm in the prime of my life.
The prime of your life. Like, just
got an air fryer.
Got an air fryer. Map of the world just to plan the next round the world walk.
Got fake. What are those things called? The small squares behind me. You got a mosaic. Fake. Well, it's not a mosaic actually. Really, it doesn't make a picture, is it? Or is it? Probably is actually.
Don't know. There you go. I got this.
You have to come onto YouTube, guys.
Got this. Yeah. Got this, Ed. Got it all. I'm all over that with my notes.
So you've already covered the moon. We there was nothing actually to correct about the Wasn't That a Mighty Storm song. The one I would like to correct is a song about the weather. My Oklahoma Home. I think I referenced it last week.
You said Bruce Springsteen did a version of it.
That's right. But it's a lady called Agnes Sis Cunningham. She was born in 1909 and passed away in 2004. So a good strong age. It was a song about her Dust Bowl experience, and it's called My Oklahoma Home. And she wrote it with her brother Bill Cunningham. It was performed by Pete Seeger in 1961, and then it kind of went off the map for a while, and then Bruce Springsteen performed in 2006 in his We Shall Overcome album, or Seeger Sessions. Yeah, We Shall Overcome Seeger Sessions. So yeah, there you go. That's that one. That was that weather. And then electronical, I still wasn't satisfied with that word. So I looked it up, but it is really a word. It just sounds strange to me. It sounds like somebody's putting an extra NA on banana to make it like banana or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Electronic. Yeah, it does. It does feel like it's made the word just one syllable too long.
Yeah, yeah. You're doubling down on something that's already established.
Mm-hmm.
Like
which will segue us nicely into the next, which is where we will not sure if we'll sample some electronical music, but I'm not sure if I experienced it, but shall we call housekeeping at that?
Banana.
Damn. No. I got this.
You're
That's
doing great,
housekeeping, everyone. Oh no, I'm all over the place. Housekeeping. That is housekeeping. That's the housekeeping music jingle that I'm going to work on trying to get the whole timing of right.
This is like a fucking speed date, man. You're really powering through everything. You ever been on a speed date? It's kind of an American thing.
Never. No. I know I did when I was in school. A colleague had a great idea. When it wasn't when I was in school. This sounds.
I should finish this one. You better elaborate quickly.
No, it was like a staff thing, and it was called. What was it called? Right. Bring and brag. It was called bring and brag, and it was like speed dating.
Bring and bang.
Bring and brag. It was just like, all right, give us a look. All right, I'm great. Give us a look. Yep. Oh, look at that. You get to brag. You brought it. Well done. Next, bring and brag. No, it was like where you kind of sit down with a colleague and you say the best thing that you have, like the best thing that you use in your classroom. Like what's the like something that you'd share. You've got 60 seconds to share something interesting that you could use that you just want other people to know about. And you share that for 60 seconds, and then you jump onto the next table. It was really cool. It's nice way of getting to meet people and just quickly kind of break the ice on a work development day.
But
that
was your best
closest.
What was your best thing that you brought?
Oh, I don't know. I think I always go back to would you rather's, I guess, just because I like talking about those would you rather's, and I think they're good. They're good things for kids to work on in terms of. But speed dating, no. Never been speed dating. Played a 45 drive. That's also moving around from table to table, playing cards though, and meeting different card players
the
at
card
different
game
tables.
45.
The card game, pretty much the Irish card game 45. I have not seen another country play 45 or indeed 25 as they call it in Dublin.
Don't know.
Yeah,
that can get aggressive. Those games of 45, though.
I can absolutely. I lived in the pub, and every Wednesday was card night. And if you won, what was it? If your team, because they played tables of 9, 3 teams of 3, and if your team got out in a game, they got a chicken. Everyone got a chicken each.
Nice.
And if you won the overall 45 game, you took home, I think it was a side of bacon or something like that. That was like the pub that we were actually, and my parents were running. So that was
nice prizes.
Yeah, Mary wasn't. They weren't skimping. It was nice. And then halfway through it, then there was cocktail sausages with basket of chips and vol au vents. Man was big into the vol au vents for some reason.
Would there be stuff on the vol au vents?
Yeah. She'd have so a vol au vent is like a little pastry kind of thing with a
puff pastry,
puff pastry with a little hole in the middle, and then inside the hole it was chicken and mushroom kind of goo.
Yeah,
and inside that, that was served out to everyone, and yeah,
that's a weird one.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't
It's
know
like
why.
it's
I
the
don't know why Mom ever did that. But
it's one
she
of the
was in.
most it's one of the most unfinger foods.
It could get messy, but they were popular, and for some
Mm,
reason we just always made them. I don't know whether. I honestly, I must ask her now. I know she'll be listening to this, and she'll contact me and tell me. But like, where she got the idea to do vol au because it's not like
very.
we're not
Mm,
like this is country Ireland. This is like
mm,
this is farming country, and most of the players were kind of just would been working a day on with cattle or sheep or whatever farmers did around us. I don't know.
tofu,
Tofu.
farming the tofu.
Farming the bean, the soybean. But yeah, they came in for their vol au vent. Mary,
Very
where are the vol au vents?
very elegant. That's a
There
very
you go.
elegant intermission food for a card
Absolutely.
game.
Yep. That's my Mary.
Well done, Mary.
Good job.
That's just very very classy.
Yeah. So where were we? How did we get onto that? Anyways, I don't know. I can't remember. Oh yeah, speed dating and the speed
You
at
wanted
which
to
I'm
move on.
moving.
You
Yeah,
wanted to move
no,
on to something.
I do have two because like I said last week, I was going to attend two gigs this
Mm-hmm.
week, and I did. I managed it. It's really nice. I actually was googling another way to say get back on the horse or back on the wagon, but I didn't. I didn't actually. I forgot to finish out that one to come up with a new phrase for getting back on something.
Mm.
Um, back on the
Back on
horse. Yeah, that's the
back on
only
the
one.
heroin.
Back on the heroin, but the horse is heroin though, isn't it?
Is it? Oh,
Isn't horse? Isn't it? If you're on the horse, is that heroin?
didn't know that. I'm not. I've kind of all my heroin friends. They're all dead now. Can't ask them. They stayed on the horse too long.
Yeah. There you go. You got to get off the horse, man. What do you do to
Get
get
kicked
back
off.
on?
You know.
So, yeah. So I went to the first place I went to then was a place called the White Rose. Are you familiar with the term the White Rose in Germany?
No.
So like neither was I. Right? So this White Rose place it's up near Schoneberg, and it's actually I cycled up there. It's about 8 kilometers there. Really nice evening. Cycled up, and just before you kind of get near it, you actually come to the Rathaus, the Rathaus Schoneberg, the what's the Rathaus, the public, what would you call it?
Town hall.
Town hall, exactly. Town hall in Germany, and it's this big, massive, imposing building with a massive clock tower. So you can imagine like big, massive clock tower in the middle of it, going straight up in a rectangular cuboid shape, and then like the building on either side of it. And it's actually the place where John F. Kennedy gave the speech, like the Ich bin ein Berliner speech.
Cool.
And
Didn't know that.
yeah, so it's a really nice, very impressive building. Like it's and but and this place, which it seems like kind of a it had a little library to the left. So you kind of come up to a kind of a park, and you cycle in. So you're not in any kind of bar area, and what it seems like you're going into is a town hall or a community hall area. It's like a single story building, but it was a little library or something there as well, just off to the left of it. And you go in the kind of doors, and the first thing that you go in, then you're just kind of in this big open area, and it was just really nice. It was just a load of couches around, kind of a place that would have been a kind of a where you'd buy your tickets for a show. And the White Rose was a non-violent intellectual resistance group in Nazi Germany. So that's where the name comes from, and for all intents and purposes, that's how this place kind of felt. Like it felt like a left wing kind of anti-Nazi. I don't know if it seemed anti-Nazi. I think a lot of places feel like they're an anti-Nazi these days. I hope, anyways, at least.
I thought you were saying anti-anties. They didn't like antis.
Anti-panty. They're against panties.
It's briefs, all boxers and briefs. Everybody has to wear them.
But the White Rose was a non-violent intellectual resistance group in Nazi Germany. I'm reading now just a little bit, so this is not coming from the mind of Andrew. It was led by 5 students and 1 professor in the University of Munich. I'll name the people were Willy Graf, Kurt Huber, Christopher Probst, Alexander Schmorell, Hans Scholl, and Sophie Scholl. And they handed out leaflets, and they had a graffiti campaign during, like, in 1942. They started doing these kind of handing out these leaflets, but they ended up that this core group were taken in by the Gestapo, and most of them were they were given trials, but they're imprisoned and are executed. So yeah, so it's kind of, yeah, it's a really nice kind of a cool name for this place, and I don't know how else to describe it. Fit the place. It kind of, as I said, the people that were working there, like, you go up to the I was talking about the ticket booth, and it's like, well, actually, the first thing I did was go in there. I was going there to see a group. I wasn't actually sure, but, like, Nick Napier was the name of the artist that was playing, but I was also promoting Las Brujas, and I didn't know if these people were together or this was one band or whatever. But it was supposed to start at 6 o'clock, so I arrived on time at around 10 to 6 or 5 to 6, and went up to the ticket booth place, and I was getting myself a drink. Didn't seem to have any beer there, so I ordering a just whatever, a Fritz Cola. But then they had beers, and I was like, oh, cool, you have beers. So I got a beer, and it ended up being like, it's just pay what you want. It's one of these
Wow.
places. So I was like, oh, nice. So what do you call it? But then they don't have any change. So it's like, when you just have notes, it's like, oh god, I'll pay €5 then. No, I didn't. I paid €3 for my beer. So of course I was thinking I was late. So went in, and you go through the front. So they have this big open area. It's got a little stairs going up to kind of a landing, and there's an art exhibition going on upstairs. Not going on. It's just art on the walls and little kind of cushions to sit down and chill, and kind of seems, for all, like, it just seems like a place you can go and hang, and just go hang out there. So went through into where the performance was happening at 6 o'clock, and walked in, and there wasn't one single person in there, not one, but the band were there. So I was like, oh, right, shit, okay, it's but it turns out the band weren't starting till 7, and I was in their sound check, and I was sitting there staring at them doing their sound check.
Number one fan.
But I also didn't know if, like, okay, should I leave? Maybe someone will say something to me, and, like, just tell me this is up. But nobody said anything. They just let me just stare at them as they kind of went through and were out telling the sound guy up a bit. And this is like a beautiful, like, performance hall theater. Like, it's gorgeous, like, big stage. Even though they weren't performing on the stage, they were performing just a little bit in front of the stage. And yeah, so they were going through a couple of songs that I got to hear a bit later, because just as they were finishing, I don't know why I felt like it was the sound check, and I should have just got up and left, but I didn't, because nobody told me to. So I just sat there and watched them doing the sound check, and then once kind of there was a electric guitar player got up at one stage, and he was just listening to the sound, and I went and asked him, what time is it starting? And he just said, I haven't a clue. So I was like, all right, so cool. And then but then I heard the sound guy talking to them, and he said it's 6:15 now, so we start at 7. And I was like, all right. So I went back outside into the foyer and chilled out there for the next 45 minutes, and was it was just hanging out there. So I got to go in anyways, and yeah, Nick Napier and his band. Nick Napier is like a solo artist, but he had these. But he performed. He was saying he performed quite a bit in a lot of open mics around Berlin. He released an EP last year, and or maybe perhaps this year. So I'll put a link to that. Important to listen when you're listening to these is that, like, I do not have professional recording equipment, so I try to doctor the pieces I record to be nice to the ear as much as I can. But what I do want to say is, like, check out these artists when you want yourself, if you like the music, and hear them properly, or buy their music. They all feature on kind of different places like SoundCloud or indeed Spotify. I believe Nick Napier has his stuff. But here's one of his songs called Fade Away. was
Very
what were these
nice.
songs called? Fade Away. Yeah, really, really, he was a really sweet artist. Like, you know, he was he he did a couple of things that I constantly do and we constantly do when we perform, which was like kind of really narrating thoughts as he was going through his set, because he was saying that it was the first time with like all his thoughts, like, you know, about how he was feeling about it or the next song, or what he was thinking, and just like, but it made him more endearing to the crowd. And at this stage there was a crowd, it wasn't just me once again staring at him. And just like I pulled my chair up right in front of the band and just started looking at him. So there was a nice crowd all sitting around us, a couple of Irish voices as well knocking around. I did not pull out my Irish card. I didn't wear my Tipperary jersey. That was the
No.
problem. I'll need to
Okay,
remember
yeah.
to wear that the next time. But so he performed like, I think maybe 7 or 8 songs. He's got a website as well, nicknapiermusic.com, which you can go check out as well. And it's hard to nail down what genre his is. Some of his songs lean towards kind of indie pop, and then but he because he's a multi-instrumentalist as well, and I think he was a sound engineer. He kind of does a lot of recording, and the stuff that he does, he had to have some stuff pre-recorded, or what do you call that, like a backing track, because he didn't have all the artists. Like, he didn't have the pianist with him and didn't have a drummer with him, but he had a lead guitar, cellist, who was also a singer, who was an absolute banging singer. You heard her there in the background for one of the songs, and also another girl who plays, I think, in this band that we're playing after him, Las Brujas, and is also his fiance, another beautiful singer. So he had like 3-part harmonies going on throughout the song. We had another one which was a really kind of funky, jazzy kind of song. It was kind of Mosquito Bites, it was called.
Very nice. It's I agree with what you say. It's hard to pin down a genre there.
Yeah, he's I guess that's kind of when you kind of play all these things and have these kind of, I guess, different ideas, and then the different kind of tools in your arsenal. I guess that's maybe what happens. Luckily enough, I don't have that problem. I just
That's going to be very easy
GC
to
and D,
define.
baby. It's just,
Yeah, that's going to be very easy to define my genre.
Speaking of genres, we are in a band. Any new listeners out there, we do play in a band called Hawk and Twang. We have renamed ourselves very recently, so we're very hard to find. But that's also our edge. That's our thing that we
Just staying underground.
staying
That's what
under
we're doing.
enough
It's just-
underground. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hawk
so
and Twang.
underground. We don't even have street cred because we haven't made it to the street.
We don't want the
That's-
cred. Actually, we return the cred when it is given to us.
But only an exact change. we, because we know how difficult it is to get change back on cred.
But
Credit.
we are building. June this year.
I think June this year we're going to have something to show everyone.
Yeah, we'll flirt out. There's also an Instagram of Hawk and Twang if you wanna join that as well. But we'll be promoting it through the Get Folk podcast. But and the last song I have from him then is it was a really cute story as well. He talked about, like, he said he hasn't written a song about breaking up. Actually, this was an interesting point he made. He's like, I haven't. Now I don't remember clearly exactly what he said, so my apologies, Nick, if you're listening to this. But something about that he hasn't written a breakup song, or that was whatever song he sang previous. So not that Mosquito Bites. That wasn't. Maybe that is about a breakup. Actually, I don't know. But would be a good song for Mosquito Bites. That's a good premise. But
Note
he
to
said
self: write a breakup song about mosquito bites. I don't know where I get these ideas. I just don't know. Just come into my head.
But he said he
approach.
didn't write any more breakup songs, which leads me to believe he's written a lot of breakup songs, which leads me to believe he's broken up a lot. But because the next song he was singing was with his now fiance, and was so she was the lady that was not playing the cello, but was doing some. You can hear the do you call it
Tampering or
percussion,
something.
egg shaker and
I don't know.
percussion in the background, and also singing. And he wrote her a song when he proposed to her. So and it's the only Spanish song he is the first and only or last. Could be this is the last Spanish song I'll ever write. And so he wrote it, and the two of them sang it then on the stage, and it was quite cute.
Mírame una vez más con tu hermosa sonrisa. Me muestras tu niña interior cuando te ríes. Nadie me dijo lo fácil que puede ser el amor. Tú y yo, juntos en un sueño. Me cae mal.
I don't know what that song's called because I tried to look up calma, but I kept getting calamari in Spanish.
That's Google. That's Google that knows you. So that's not a field.
I kept getting things
I
about
kept going
blood
out
in
to
my
get-
shed.
Why is there calamari in my shit?
So calma,
Google.
it could be calma as well, and I think like calm. I don't know. I'm sure. I hope reach out to me, Nick, if you are. We are. We have connected on Instagram, so please
Yeah.
educate myself and Dad.
I've been reading your private correspondence. with each other.
Absolutely, yeah. You see me. I did something this week.
That's very nice.
I got in there.
Yeah.
Get my hands dirty. Even though I told everyone actually to get in touch with Nick, I wrote back to a WhatsApp message that someone posted about this gig, and then I assumed it was his girlfriend, and in the midst of writing, or his fiance, in the midst of, and so I sent a message, and then I thought about it. I was like, oh, it could have been the girl from the cello. So I'll just write back and go, sorry, this could actually be the girl from the cello. If so, then apologies for that. And then I sat and I watched it, and then I looked at the name again, and I didn't recognize it. And I was like, oh, this could be actually someone from that other band completely, and nothing to do with any of this. So I wrote to them again and said, sorry about this again. And now I've just realized that this could be this also. So covered all the bases and got in touch with Nick. So
You're like the most forgiving catfish victim ever, as well as like a victimless fucking hacker victim.
I just want a pen pal. I just want
I just want to talk. I don't care who you are or who you're pretending to be. Just talk to me.
But yeah, so
Did it work out? Did it work out with this message?
It did work out.
Beautiful.
Whoever, I think, I believe, her name is Vanessa, got back to me then, and
Cool.
and
Is she any of the
said she'd
people you
pass
thought
on.
she was?
But I didn't ask the question again. So which one of them are you? I didn't. I left it at that.
So what did she do? What did this Vanessa, if that is her real name,
She
do?
said she'd pass on the message to Nick.
Was
So
there
no, she didn't. I believe she's a member of this this group called which I couldn't stay around for. It only turned out that I realized that they were performing after Nick Napier and his band were performing. They're a band called Las Brujas. Oh, sugar! Now I had them up here a few seconds ago. Las Brujas. Brujjas, I think. So a kind of I think it's just a collective of three ladies singing. I don't have any music artists, but you know what? I'm going to find them in Berlin. They performed last year at Fête de la Musique in Tempelhof. I remember finding that information out. Las Brujas. I'll also put a link to something.
What was the result of Vanessa saying she'd pass on? Did somebody reach out to you from that? Do you have proof that she
No,
did
you
pass
see,
on.
I complicated most of my because with the next artist. Then I went through WhatsApp. Jeez, what's wrong? I'm stuck
What's
in the
it?
Just,
Come on, what's it?
I
You're
went through
finally
what,
getting it towards the end of the podcast. Last 15 minutes just going to be all Australian accent.
but
18
for all of these communications that I did via WhatsApp, then I went on to Instagram and just did the exact same communication again. So I did actually just like bomb all these people with messages about being
Spam
okay
them.
to use their music. Is it spamming when I'm? Yeah, it's a little bit spammy, I guess.
It's very spammy.
But anyways, all worked
Is
out
it
in the
spam?
end.
Is it spam when I just like blanket communicate with loads of people who
Use all-
unsolicited, using all their private information? Is that spamming? Nah.
Well, they all were very polite.
My point is, like Vanessa, we're talking her up here. She might have done fuck all. That's the point I'm making.
She probably didn't even send Nick the message. Just god damn
It's
it.
probably not even her name. Just
You lied to me, Vanessa. You lied to me. I thought we knew. You know, I thought we had something, and here we are.
You need to find out where she lives. Pick up a box of Cadbury's milk tray, and that's where you leave it.
Okay, but if it's milk tray, then I'm putting her in one of those boxes of which of the ladies she is. Is she the crisp, elegant, sophisticated, or is she fresh?
No, you're
and young?
Rose. That was Roses.
No, Roses is you've got yourself a man.
Ah, shit.
So if I bring the box of roses, that's obviously going to be you've got yourself a man.
I feel like you're offering yourself up on a platter there. About using the roses. Then
I can't do
take
that.
me, take me now.
How about this? I get a box of roses, but it's empty. I give her an empty box of roses.
Or like
I've got
box of roses.
myself a man. I am a man, Vanessa. I am a man.
I'm all the man I need. Somehow becomes a statement about you being comfortable with your sexuality, and that's all you wanted to say on all of this carpet bombing communication exploitation that you went on. I'm a man. I'm a man.
God damn it.
God damn you, I'm a man.
So, anyways,
But anyway,
that
that sounded like a lovely gig, Andy. That sounded really nice.
Really, and the venue is yeah. Sorry, go on.
I was just saying, I do sometimes resent that you bring these incredibly talented people who like they're already talented, and then they're like, here's just a little song I wrote in Spanish, another language, just no big deal. You know, it's like, oh man, these people, where are they? How do they do that?
Well, Berlin is teeming with them these days. I believe
Dime a dozen.
Dime a dozen.
Cheapened us. He was cheapened us somehow.
You've just cheapened it on Nick.
They're
You're
everywhere.
nothing. You're nothing. Hawk and twang. That's where it's at. That's where,
See this empty box of roses? That's you. No, very good.
yeah.
That's class. And it sounds like a class venue as well. So nice.
So
exploring. Well done.
yeah, venue. Yeah, that's the most fun part of these things is going to kind of the unusual venues. Another plus to this venue, which I really want to go back to it anyway, because I think every Wednesday they have one of these kind of concerts, just with a local artist, and you know it's donation. Like, you know, again, when you're finished the gig, there's a box outside, and absolutely got to donate to this, because it's just such a, I don't know, it's a nice thing that doesn't last very long if people don't support it, you know. But I was saying that, like, in this foyer there's like a high roof and there's an elevated kind of platform where people can go and sit on cushions, and you have to take off your shoes and then you can go look at the artwork. But they have, do you know what, there's beaming onto a wall just above the entrance to the venue is videos of Super Mario, and Earthworm Jim is also, and but upstairs, the SNES, the original Super Nintendo first one, is up there with 2 controllers, and you can actually go up there and play Super Mario or Earthworm Jim, the game, which I kind of remember. I don't know if you had it. Did you have a Super Nintendo, the first one?
No, I didn't. Did not have
So
that.
yeah. So again, another thing to do is just go pay for beer as much as you want and go play the Super Nintendo original.
God, that sounds so cool. I was so tempted to, like, while you were starting that story about what was there, I was so tempted to just in my mind I was going, okay, everything that Andy says for the rest of the podcast, I'm just gonna like sneak in Alf Stewart exclamations to everything that he says, like Struth.
Struck me round.
Strike me right, stand a flaming crows. But I was actually so interested in what you said, I suppose I couldn't.
There you
So,
go. Glad I usurped your ideas. Usurped.
Yeah, that's right. You stole a march.
So-
but yes, that's really sounds like a really cool place.
So yeah, and then the next day, then I took a wander with some fellow Hawk and Twang performers and band members, and we went back to an old haunt called a Bavul, which you have frequented yourself. There's a gentleman called, it's hard for me to say the old Turkish names, but I'm going to call him
in an Australian accent. That's all I want now.
Uygur, Uygur. How would you pronounce that?
UYG.
Gur.
Oh, Uyghur.
Uyghur. I would say Uyghur. I should
Uyghur.
again.
Uyghur.
My apologies. My sincere apologies to you, Mr. Vural is what I'll say, because that's his second
Mr.
name.
Vural.
Vural is far more phonetically easy on my brain. But he's starting up this thing called Berliner Solo Sessions, which is again, it's been hosted here in Bavul in Berlin. The next one is, he actually sent me a message about the next date that the next one is on. I think it's the 27th of February will be his next show that he does for these solo sessions. So his plan is to invite artists to come and perform once a month, but kind of just perform their own kind of stuff, their own solo sessions. Like it's both solo and duo pieces. It's kind of a place for solo performances and share projects that people are kind of doing privately, kind of just in their own studios or in their own places, but rarely get a chance to kind of present these things kind of publicly. So for this first one, he invited, I believe it's a friend of his, but another multi-instrumentalist called Ceyhun Kaya. I believe he is Georgian originally, and again, apologies if you're not, but I had a kind of brief look at. He's well. I had a look around the internet to find, and I found something about the Georgian multi-instrumentalist Ceyhun Kaya. Comes from the Black Sea. Is a member of the successful Turkish band Kumbus Kimat and Bandista. So I guess he's a Georgian instrumentalist, but sings in Turkish. And one of the clips I have is of him singing a song in Turkish. But this was just an absolutely amazing performance in this place. Two of them, they had a whole kind of setup of the stuff that they were playing the music on, so it was mic'd up. Loop pedals, a lot of loop pedals. Not a lot. I don't know how many loop pedals one needs to have. I guess two. It's probably one. Mr. I've forgotten his name now. Now that I'm using his second name, I can't remember. Vural or Uygur was playing the saxophone, electric saxophone. So it's like a 5-string Jesus Christ, a cello. He's playing a 5-string saxophone. He was playing the saxophone. He was playing Jesus. He was playing the electric cello. All right. I'm just going to play I'm going to play a song, and I'm going to get my thoughts together. Here's my first of 3 clips from the solo sessions. He was really nice, by the way. Again, this is my recording, but I was writing to him afterwards, Uygur, and I'm going to say it so many different ways now because I've decided to commit to it. Uygur, I'm going to go with. He wrote to me today, and he's like, "Do you want me to?" We actually recorded the whole thing professionally. He said professionally. I didn't take offense to that, by the way. If you're listening,
no, he was right to say that.
He was right to say. I actually have some professional recordings. If you want. So he actually did. He offered to send me some clips as well, but because I know
Wow.
we're recording this evening, I am. I'm gonna. I did. I think they're pretty good. But please remember that if you like this music, or indeed you should come to the Berliner solo sessions and listen to these guys, because if this is the standard that's been set at the beginning, then we're in for a treat every month. So yeah, that was like, so that was them. So they played a lot of instrumental stuff where they would kind of record loops, and then uh, they would, yeah, they would just kind of bounce off each other a little bit. I guess Uygur was kind of doing the kind of, I would say, the bassliney kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and then Ceyhun Kaya was kind of then building on that as well. So I think I think for that one he was playing a latva. This is like a lavta. Sorry, it's like a small Turkish instrument. I'm not going to try and give you any kind of proper history into what this it looks like. It's a beautiful looking instrument. It's one of those ones that looks very like a bouzouki or an oud, or you know, for me it's like kind of like a bouzouki, but I think it only has 7 strings, and the top of it is actually at a right angle to the neck. If you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen that kind of instrument?
Yeah, it's like I've seen pictures of stuff like that in the Middle Ages. You know what I mean? Like paintings of that sort of stuff. Isn't like medieval instruments sometimes have that.
Yeah. So I think that a lot of, and I think again probably Eastern European as well. Like, you know, I think kind of Greece and things like that, and yeah. So it's so that was him. Kind of, he was jumping. He was playing like guitar. He was playing the lavta, and he was also playing a type of saxophone. What this saxophone is called is it's called a
Cello.
special
Cello sax.
cello sax. No, I'm gonna. I bet definitely. Is it voice? No, it's a saxophone. Okay, maybe he was. What's the saxophone called? That's the highest pitch one.
Cello.
So he was playing a saxophone as well, and also singing.
Is it an alto by any chance?
Maybe it's an alto. You know, yeah, but it probably could have been some special saxophone as well. I'm not sure.
So special. It had 5 strings on it.
Said 5 strings. Could be plugged in. But he also sang as well, and just one of these like absolute just amazing Turkish voice. Like not like well, it's a Turkish song. I was going to say Turkish voices, but I don't know if he sees himself as Turkish. But just this kind of Eastern European way of singing. Like, I keep kind of bundling the whole of Eastern Europe together, but I don't know. Since I've gone to Bavul, I've just kind of heard a lot of songs, and while I don't think it doesn't sound the same, but it's just kind of, it's got a flavor to it that I just adore listening to. And this is kind of another one of his kind of another song that they performed on the night as well.
Bakar yücelerde
Wow.
Just
Goosebumps.
amazing, isn't it? How you just keep going somewhere else, and it's just like, oh,
God, that's really entrancing stuff, you know. I think that's a
Absolutely.
word.
This was in a room like, so you've been to Bavul and you've seen, like, I think it was pretty packed the time you did the workshop there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it was
was
pretty
like,
full.
for this thing, I'd say there was about no more than 15, 20 people. Like, I was like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I got there early. I wanted to get there even earlier, because I was assuming, just knowing this place and how the quality of the artists, and but like, again, someone's starting something new as well. Like, the Tuesday sessions are starting back next week. I believe they're doing a Greek song next week that I might go to. I'm not sure yet if I have the time, but yeah, this was just like, it was just such a privilege to be in this thing. It just like such a comfortable seat, and just everyone just being silent, listening in this gorgeous bar that serves affordable drinks, that serves food as well, which I find just always funny that they have like one meal. It's like, but they always serve kind of this one meal. A lot of people drinking tea, a lot of people drinking this kind of drink that looks like sambuca. Did you see that the last time you were there? This kind of sambuca
Uh,
looking drink? I can't remember
I,
what it's called.
I don't remember seeing that. No.
Yeah, I'm
No.
gonna look it up for the next week. But the drink
Yeah.
that they have there's some special drink that they're always drinking there.
That's
Uh,
that sounded amazing. But just to save us some housekeeping, I got this quick search. So from highest to lowest, the saxophones are soprano, alto, tenor, and baritone saxophone. So it could have been a soprano sax or an alto
okay,
sax. They're the two highest ones. So
nice.
anyway, I don't know.
They might reach out to me and say it. But yeah, I was in touch with them because I do want to kind of talk to these people as well, and kind of would love to kind of I don't know, maybe at some point just chat to them on the podcast as well, and just kind of get them to understand kind of their journeys in music as well, because I think all these guys that play in this bar just seem to be just really, really talented musicians. Like that, the guy hosting it, like he I think he actually trained to be like a musician. He's a freelance instructor, a cello performer, improviser, sound artist, and composer. I'm just reading from his profile a little bit here, so I'm not saying anything that he hasn't put out there either. He studied cello and composition at Istanbul University, and has a master's of fine arts degree in visual communication design, and taught sounds and design at the Department of Film and Television. So, like, people that have just kind of thrown themselves into the kind of world of sound, particularly like his research focused on like city soundscape, acoustic ecology, sound architectural relations, experimental techniques in performance, and improvisation. So basically the same path we've been on, Ed.
Pretty much.
So
Not as much.
pretty much.
Didn't mention many pubs there. I feel like we traversed more pubs.
Yeah. Listen. We have a different. We're chiseled from different. Well, we're using a different chisel, I think, as well. That's the problem, I guess. Stone, different type of stone, different type of chisel.
Don't think there's any chisel us. I think we come in like one of those sachets. You add it to water, and it's just into like a jelly. And that's how we're made.
Got
Whereas
yourself
you
a
chisel these
dragon.
guys from. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Endlessly researching the interior acoustics of pubs. We
Pubs,
just
yeah.
that's what our masters is going to be based on. It's like, wait, how does it sound again? Well, it's not because we're developing anything. It's just because we keep forgetting what it sounds like.
Hey,
I need to go back in
our
there.
most recent sojourn into the pubs of Cork in December, I believe we chiseled a few of them. We carved a few of them into. Now I'm carving, so we're wood actually. Shit.
Whittling.
Oh God, it's
We
we're
whittled
a
them.
mixture of wood and stone, fire and ice. Fire and ice.
And all because the lady loves Cadbury's milk tray.
You got yourself a man.
You got yourself a man. Fair dinkum.
Go on, I'll give you the last clip here. It's a beautiful saxophone. Or maybe I'll keep it for the. You know what I'll do? I'll keep it for the little goodbye, the little solo sax session from the Bavul. You got any? You didn't send me any recordings, so you didn't go any sessions this week, anyways.
Let me see. Can I fit in my week in the last 5 minutes here? I think I can. Okay, yeah, I've got some bullet points I'll share with you if you want.
Nice.
All right, ready? It's
Okay.
going to be this is classic speed dating. You want to know?
Okay, I've got some
everything I
notes
did.
as well. I've
All
got
right,
some
here we go.
observations as well. So how about we trade observations from our week that we've
Okay.
written down?
Okay, I better pick a good one. So I had a kind of a banal one there at the front, so I won't do that one.
Okay.
I discovered which of the dregs of the Roses and Quality Street chocolates I can eat. So
Okay.
I like, you know what I mean. So like, you know the way it is, like there's chocolates left in these boxes.
Yeah.
That you're like, ugh, nobody wants to eat them. I discovered which ones of those. How I readjusted my bar, my lower, to say, okay, now does it really? I've scraped off the least shit ones, and I've eaten all those, and now it's just basically toffees are left in the boxes.
No. And you're going to eat the toffees.
No, I won't. I really can't stand toffee. But fudge, I've a new appreciation for fudge when there's nothing else there.
Ironic that our
Except for
band name
toffee.
is Hawk and Twang now, but you can't stand toffee.
Well, that's what we're all about, man. There's so many levels to us. That's the thing, you see. We go so it's ironic. It's ironic.
Well, my point is that, or my observation from my week is I got offered a set of golf clubs to buy, because I foolishly, as I was walking somewhere, I got my bike fixed up in Schoneberg. Actually, it was in Schoneberg a lot this week, but Schoneberg had the only bike shop that could fix my bike. And when I was walking back, there was a guy passed by me with a full golf club set. So I looked at him and stared at him. I was like, and he saw me. And then came towards me. And he's like, in German, he's like, do you want to buy this? And I was like, oh, no, it's just like, you don't see a lot of golf clubs around Berlin. So I just like, I noticed it. And then he followed me into the coffee shop, stopped at the coffee shop door because he just wanted to. So clearly this man did not own these golf clubs.
They were hot.
Further observation. This was not going to be I wasn't getting any receipts for these golf clubs.
No.
So no, but he didn't follow me into the coffee shop, and there ended my golf club story.
You were so close to owning a really taking up golf. You could have really helped him support his drug addiction, man. You should have. I don't know. You kind of robbed him of you delayed his next high, I would say.
Yeah, I should have. No, I don't want to be a prick one and just like start haggling for, even though I'm not going to buy your golf clubs. But I wonder how much those golf clubs could have went for.
I'd say they're like golf clubs are the type of thing. I'd say there's not really. Is there really a cheap, like really really cheap type? Probably not.
I'd say you're looking at I don't know. Actually, I have zero idea.
No idea.
There we go.
To be honest with you.
Different prices of golf.
That's too vague. I think that's too vague.
Yeah.
You might as well ask, where did this guy steal those golf clubs from? No, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. So,
Well done.
Thank you. Any other little tidbits for us?
Tidbits. It's a funny thing that started happening at work actually, which is like always professional. The quality and the standard of work is always impeccable. Let me just start with that.
I saw your collage, man. This is off the chart. Let's remind the viewers that we've got the nativity scene with 4 lollipop
any questions
that
you
Ed
can
had to eat.
Yeah, you can. Any questions? Just send them on to Substack. I'm not going to explain that any further because you all know what Substack is by now.
At this point.
So, so there's a guy I know at work. I've known him for many years, and he started doing this thing now. He's older than me. He started doing this thing now where he's one of these guys who he doesn't like. He's not bothered by what people think of him, really. You know what I mean? But he somehow doesn't. He's fine. You know what I mean? It's not like he's a really cool guy. But just does what he wants, basically. So he's decided that it's funny that he sneaks up behind me, and obviously when I'm not expecting because he's sneaking, he's decided it's funny that he just like grabs me by the rib cage and tickles me as aggressively as he can, out of nowhere. He's decided that this is his next thing that he likes to do now, and it's now really snowballing.
You got yourself a man.
You got yourself a man.
I want to find your friend and ask him to say these things
Yeah.
every time he does it from now on.
Yeah, and yeah, so like it's just so at odds with the rest of the work environment. And I was driving along in this cherry picker thing, and it was quite loud because there was a kind of an engine thing running, and the thing is kind of rickety. So, and because it was moving, it's kind of ricketing around a little bit, and so my senses are dulled. Now it's up. It's up at a height, not a really high, but like it's up high. And so he managed to sneak up into it while I was driving along, and do this to me again. This isn't the first time he's done it. He's now a serial offender at this, and he did it, and it like obviously surprised me, and I let go of the controls, and then we both went forward due to momentum, and we ended up in a kind of a spooning. In a spooning pose where I was the little spoon, even though he's a lot shorter than me. And yeah, he did get himself a man that time, actually. I'm like, this is at work. We're at work, man. And we're supposed to be,
I'm glad to hear that there's a human like that in your world, because it can.
No, it's very God. It's just really, it's a really funny thing that has just randomly started to happen. And now I found that I'm trying to get him back. I'm trying to like sneak up behind him, tickle him. And it is tickling. That's what it is.
Could go down. They just don't know how to escalate. Ed doesn't know how to escalate, and just full on just pulls his pants down.
No, I won't do that. I will not do that. So that's just been an interesting development this week. It hasn't ended yet. ... To be continued.
Nice.
Well, I saw, and do you know what? This is how crazy it's driven me. I saw him talking to like a supervisor, and I was like,
really jealous.
His back is
got
turned.
really jealous.
Yeah, his back is turned. I was like, I contemplated sneaking up behind him and doing it. And I was like, what are you doing? Don't. The fuck is wrong with you? So I had to put my hands in my pockets.
Nice. You'll get it, man. It's a long road that has no turns, my mother says.
Yeah.
And she's right. She's right.
Unless it's a bog road. That fucking road.
I saw a Porsche with a roof rack this week, which which I found interesting. That was one of the other things that I saw. It was full-on fancy Porsche driving up Cockbuster Dam, and just a roof rack, roof. Like, I'm going on holidays. I just thought it was an interesting. What would you call that? Just a
juxtaposition.
Is that the accurate way to call it? Is that
you could use the word juxtaposition if you want.
Well, we've given ourselves some healthy homework for that. Even just that word, I think eternally, whenever that word is used in my presence, it inevitably involves research. Or a seizure.
Well, you have to explain why you're using. I think it's the type you have to explain, like the thing that's put beside the other thing. I think it's like, and I didn't do that. I just used the word juxtaposition, which is just saying blah.
Yeah,
I might as well have just said blah. It's like a Porsche. It's like any other Porsche, but it's gone to the gym. That's what I've just said.
Nice. I like that. My last one then, which I feel like now that I read.
Sorry, I thought we were trading. You've gone twice.
Oh, sorry. I've gone one more. I thought go on. I've only got one more. So are we good to trade?
Well, I'm just going to use my last go to once again big up in anticipation our plan to have a chat. Not next week actually. I think it's not next week. No, it's the week after. With Sean Mulrooney, who is bringing out an album. The album actually, the album is called "This Is My Prayer." The album launch is on February the 15th in Whelan's in Dublin at 7:00. And I heard a clip of a song of his during the week that's going to be on the album. It's called "The Pufferfish," and that song drops on the 31st of January on all platforms. So I think on Instagram this week, I will successfully lead the charge again, and I'll put some links to his stuff and share some of his
Yeah,
stuff.
it's a cracking song as well. You can find the clips of it, I guess, on Instagram, on his Instagram as well. But
Yep.
it's a very, very nice song. I really love it. And you're having the bands with him. I saw you're having some bands. Were you?
Bants, I don't know. I don't know what you're referring to.
Back and forth banter. Maybe I
No.
imagined that.
I think you imagine that. You've been sucking on the puffer fish. What's happened there?
Damn puckerfish.
Go on, what's your last one there? So
My last one was just I feel like it fits nicely into the kind of the phraseology for or the phraseology the taglines for roses and things like that. Because my son was singing a song this week, and it's a song that we all like. Who let the dogs out? And he started singing this, but like, he didn't have it called "Who Let the Dogs Out." He just kept singing, "Don't let the dogs out," and I was just kind of like, "Don't let the dogs."
that's somehow worse than the original.
Yeah,
Worse
it's
message.
just it's like now it's like just trap them all. Like like if you want to apply it to the way I have seen it used in loves as well, and it's like, but I just thought it was very funny the way he had landed it. I don't know how we heard the song in the first place, but yeah, I like the way he goes for it.
Actual dogs.
Just like, he actually is not a big fan of dogs. Yeah, so don't let the dogs.
Don't let them out. So the song makes perfect sense to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just good.
It's
Just good
it's
dog.
just a good mantra.
Being a good owner. Being a good pet
But
management.
yeah, so that's me, Ed. We made
All
it.
right.
1 hour 32, Sunday evening, 23:45. This episode drops in another 6 hours. But for all of you listeners,
Longest
that's now.
speed date ever.
longest. Have a lovely, lovely, lovely week, and we'll talk to you next week. Cheers.